Now, the powerful stories of people living rough on the street are being told as part of a special musical in Torquay. Many of the performers are former homeless men and women, some recovering from drug and alcohol abuse. Spotlight's Johnny Rutherford has been to see them rehearsing.
Raise me up so I can stand on.
This isn't your usual musical. This is a heartfelt community project that's for the last year been bringing people together to help one another and get their message across about the homeless.
I think particularly in Torbay there's an arrogance that actually this is a lovely destination to come for your holiday. We don't want this issue here. I hope that when people come and see this play, this musical, that they will go away and it will change their perspectives and it will change the way in which they look at that person in the street and think, actually, that could be my dad, that could be my son, that could be me.
Just leave me alone!
The Unleashed Theatre Company, in a bold move, have hired the 1,800-seat Princess Theatre in Torquay for tomorrow night's only performance. The musical, called Under One Roof, is also peppered with thought-provoking drama clips.
And it's been a massive help to me because along with the recovery, obviously I've been doing the acting and getting my confidence back. It's bringing an old me back out. It's bringing my happy back out.
Oh, sorry, but poor guinea pigs.
And I've got really, really good people around me. It's helped me no end, and I think, you know, other people that can come into the group in the future, it'll help them no end as well.
Would you like to hear a story? Yes, I do. I love a story. I was talking to
Blair lived on the streets of Torquay with his worldly possessions in 2 bags.
And it got to the point where I'd had enough, and I was sitting in a doorway near the harbour, and I just kept staring at it. And I said, that's it, that's the answer. Just take the bags, just jump in. Anyway, for some unknown reason, I didn't do it, you know. And the next morning, 6 o'clock, don't forget it, this freaky guy come round the corner, a young fella, and he said to me, hello mate, it was like a cup of coffee. If you feel compelled to give any homeless person some money, and I know it's from your heart that you're giving them the money, please think about buying them a coffee and a sandwich, because a coffee and a sandwich will keep them alive. But if you give them money, it could go the wrong way.
Some powerful stories. That was Blair Storrie talking to our reporter, Johnny Rutherford. People who spent years living on the streets of Torbay are putting on a musical at the Princess Theatre. It's part of a community project run by the Unleashed Theatre Company. This Sunday is their second production, much of it based on their own experiences of homelessness. Johnny Rutherford has been to meet some of the cast.
I want to scream!
But nothing comes out.
No sound, just pain.
No sound, just pain.
Just pain inside.
Just pain inside. That no one can see.
But no one...
Performing from their hearts. A last-minute rehearsal in the Leonard Stocks Homeless Centre in Torquay.
The people on the streets, they need all the help they can get. You know, the Leonard Stocks Centre do a wonderful, wonderful job. But when it's full, it's full. And this is the kind of thing what happens, Johnny.
What's that?
Just over there, you can see he's 100 yards away from the hostel. There's a young gentleman or a lady, I'm not sure from this distance, but they're homeless. This is the rest of their life. And this is the reason we do this thing, you know, so that we can help.
And they have helped.
I've lost everything that mattered.
Last year's show at the Princess Theatre not only raised awareness of the homeless issue, but raised enough money to employ a mental health worker for the homeless centre.
Oh, to sit and eat a meal. Instead I go hungry and I really feel unclean, no pride. I have had no rest. I look through the window at those who are blessed. So it's everybody's stories all sort of amalgamated into one big sort of long poem so we can all relate to it. I think it's really important that, you know, in society as it is, the problem's only getting worse, it's not getting any better. So it's just going to talk to so many people.
As the show is on Remembrance Sunday, there's a military angle.
I fought for this country, you know. I did. Yeah, I've been spat on, been urinated on. People tell me to get off my backside and get a job. Don't look at us and just judge a book by its cover. Stop, spend 5 minutes. You want to know something? Ask us. Knowing that I'm going to be standing on that stage in front of so many people, telling my story, scares me to death, but I'm so looking forward to it.
Not everybody judges you, but it's a lonely, lonely, cold place. And yeah, sorry, I wouldn't want to go back there.
A report from Johnny Rutherford. Good luck to all involved in that production.
A theatre group in Torbay which works with people who've either experienced homelessness or are in recovery from some sort of addiction has been given a funding boost by the National Lottery.
Yes, the Unleashed Theatre Company has been running for 5 years, and this weekend it put on a show to raise money for other charities. Johnny Rutherford went to the performance of All the World's a Stage at the Little Theatre in Torquay.
This theatre show is helping lots of people, not just 3 charities it's raising money for, but it's supporting many of the performers who have braved the stage.
Don't you know what a dictionary is?
Yeah, of course I do. It's a thingy, innit?
When I come into drama initially, I was still using, and I was on a script of methadone. I was using heroin and Valium and crack cocaine. I was really feared up. And it took me about 2 months of sitting and just watching. It was suggested by the support worker at the local rehab I was in at the time to go. It was a really big part of bringing me out of myself and building my confidence.
Yes, sweet blood brothers, come on, baby!
The Unleashed community drama and recently formed choir includes many who have either experienced homelessness firsthand or are in recovery from an addiction. They meet up weekly in Torquay and are supported by other amateur theatre performers. Comedy is often the topic. It helps them escape from the real drama of life.
I've always had mental health issues. I had a lot of fear, wouldn't leave the building, didn't want to go out, curtains closed. Going to the group, it gradually pulled me out of myself. And now, all I want to do is get out of the house and do things, you know.
But I'm not that good.
I think it's really important for a lot of these guys who have just had so much attachment issues and had so much rejection in their life to actually feel a sense of actually self-worth about themselves and learning to love themselves and respect themselves again. And seeing that actually worked out by them getting up and performing is a really precious thing.
My job's to wave the flag.
Johnny Rutherford, BBC Spotlight, Torquay.
Well, with knife crime very much in the headlines and concerns that it's on the increase in Torbay, a community theatre group in Torquay has been working on a hard-hitting play about the subject.
Yes, the show is called The Cross and the Switchblade, and Johnny Rutherford is at the dress rehearsal for us tonight. Johnny.
Yes, you join us in St Mary Mag's Church, where the show will run. But what's different about this show is that many of the cast members have had actual personal experience of knife crime. In fact, one of the leads spoke to me earlier about how he, in fact, managed to be stabbed several times.
Knife crime is really real. It is something that happens, and it's something that many people are stuck in that they can't get out of. I've been in some really difficult circumstances in my life, and I've worked closely with some really dangerous people. I had first-hand experience of knife crime and of violence involved with gangs that were seeking commitment and seeking companionship from people, but they were exploiting them. This was a stress that many people experience today, where their loyalties have been brought into a family which has got their back and does look after them, but has all of the wrong consequences. I've had knives stuck in me, I've been held at knife point, I've been in some really dangerous circumstances and situations, and at times it really felt like I could never get out, that I couldn't escape it. It was so far from me that it didn't even cross my mind. But there is a way out. There really is. I managed to escape from that and have lived a really fruitful life. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I'm changed and the world around me has changed. There is a future.
Well, Martin, you're the director of the show, but it's not just about the show, is it? Because you're actually helping these people through some of their past history.
That's right. Unleashed Community Drama is specifically a drama group for people who have perhaps been ex-homeless or ex-offenders or struggling with addictions. And so it's a group that brings people together to do drama every week and just helps them to build their self-respect and build their confidence, give them interview skills, stuff like that. But it's a fantastic drama group that now is actually combining with Unleashed Theatre Company for the first time to put on this amazing play.
Tell me a little bit about the play, because it's quite a well-known old film, isn't it?
It is. It's a very old book. It's probably one of the best-loved Christian books, The Cross and the Switchblade. It's a story of how this guy, Nicky Cruz, who basically is living this terrible life in ganglands, New York, and how he just basically changes by meeting this guy, David Wilkerson, who's a sort of skinny preacher who naively goes into the gangland and tries to help these guys who, a lot of them are caught up in addiction and crime. So the play is very much about actually hope, transformation. You know, we believe, Unleashed Theatre Company, that, you know, recovery does happen. The guys who come to us, they're all in recovery, and a lot of them make it back into normality and to normal lives. And this is a wonderful, inspirational play about...
Let's have a look at a little scene. Go ahead, guys.
Shut up, Israel. I ain't telling you again. No. Manny was getting at Davy, bitching about him coming to the streets in his new shoes and fancy clothes, and Manny being there in rags. So Davy takes off his shoes, gives them to Manny, and walks off down the street in his socks, man. Davy's for real. I think God is too. I told you to shut up about God.
That's sadly all we've got time for. But the show is running tomorrow, Friday and Saturday here in Torquay.
Thank you, Johnny.
Johnny. Great achievement.
As we know, theatre performances have been unable to continue during the pandemic. So a drama group that works with the homeless community in Torbay decided to venture into the world of cinema. And rather than starting small, they went full scale and created a feature-length costume drama. Johnny Rutherford's been to meet them.
My sister Jeannie and I wintered in Torquay in the fall of 1847. And having travelled much around the globe, we found this so-called Queen of Watering Places a town of complete contrasts.
The 50-minute film called The Rich and the Pure is based on a true story of austerity and hardship in Victorian Torquay in the 1840s.
Richard, look what's just arrived in the post.
What is it?
They may look like professional actors, but they're not. This is their first film, and the cast is made up of people who not that long ago lived on the streets or indeed are in the process of recovery.
2021, Torbay is still one of the most deprived areas in the southwest, and look at the state of homelessness, and these guys, they can say it and they've actually lived it. So to have them in a costume drama where they're acting out roles that in many respects reflect their own journey, I mean, was just priceless.
Well, you must come and stay with us till you get yourself sorted.
Hold on a minute, woman.
Basically, I'm in recovery from alcohol. I ended up in the street. I ended up in the homeless hostel, and it was just awful. I couldn't do anything. And then Martin came into the hostel one day and he said to me, "Do you want to act?" And I went, "No, no way." But eventually I did do it, and it was the road to recovery. It's been a long